Hi and welcome to 31 Days of Halloween Down the Red Rabbit Hole. I write as D.E. White, I'm a crime thriller author and I'm best known for my Detective Dove Milson series. So today I've brought my dog along. You can see him in the background, he's very spooky and he's going to kind of be walking around for the next 10 minutes while I answer some questions put to me by the Red Rabbit. So let's get going. Have you ever met a psychopath? That's a really good one to kick off with, isn't it? I would say yes, I have. My line of work is very varied, and yes, I do meet people who potentially might not conform to the rest of the rules of society. That doesn't make you a psychopath, obviously, but yes, I have met a psychopath, and it is quite strange. I think probably the thing that sticks with me is their expression and the eyes, and when you're talking to someone and they just have a completely different view that you do, but in a very strange way. It's very hard to explain, but yes, I have. What's the most frightening research you've ever done? I would say that was for The Ice Daughters, which is book 2 in the Detective Dove Milson series, and that was centred around World War II. I watched a documentary on the tortures that were done by the Nazis in the name of research, and it was absolutely harrowing. I was in tears by the time I had watched it. It was just horrific what had been done in the name of research, and that was the kind of moment that triggered the book. So the research that I had to do, I wanted to be accurate. Obviously it's a fiction book, but I needed to portray the facts as they happened. So that was really, really tough to do. It was really scary research, and it definitely took me down to a very dark place. And next, have you ever seen a ghost? I'm not sure. I love Halloween. I'm such a big Halloween fan. I've already got, fluffy pumpkins out in my house. I can't wait to carve pumpkins. Even though the kids are bigger, we're going to get like the US, they have this really cool thing, like a boo basket. I didn't realise till last year, but basically you put loads of Halloween stuff in a basket and give it to members of your family. Anyway, backtracking. I think I might have seen a ghost. I definitely notice in one of my lines of work that unfortunately I do work with people who die, and I feel like there is something else. We don't know, do we? We absolutely don't know. So I am very open to paranormal and the fact that there is something else beyond this life. Next question. Do you think the world will end in fire or ice? At the moment, it's very cold this morning on my dog walk in my pyjamas. Before I headed down the Red Rabbit Hole, it was raining. So I am going to say probably ice. I'm looking forward to, not looking forward to, but I'm thinking we might be welcoming back mammoths. My dog's in the background, he looks like a bit small version of a mammoth. So yeah, probably ice. Creepiest place you have ever visited? Red Rabbit Hole, obviously, right behind me, the entrance. I don't know if you can see by that oak tree. Probably creepiest place. Do you know what? I'm not a fan of those haunted mansions at fun fairs. And I know that's weird. I can go to Gothic castles, I can go through abandoned buildings. I love abandoned buildings. There's a cement works quite near where I live, Shoreham Cement Works in Sussex, and it's massively creepy. And I do think the things that humans create are a lot creepier than the things that nature can create. Just abandoned things that have been created by humans. It's a really scary place down there, but I kind of like it. Whereas haunted houses at fun fairs and amusement parks do tend to freak me out. I'm not quite sure why. There's a great one near us, Tully's Farm. They do Shocktober. Again, you might have heard of that one. I think that's quite a famous one, and I've been there, and it was brilliant fun. I was with a load of friends. It was great, but I was very scared, like genuinely scared. The actors were very, very good, and the whole experience was very immersive. And I think that was the thing, I completely got lost in it. Did a typical writer thing and just disappeared into the world that they had created. But that's okay. That's okay for writers. Okay, next question. Have you ever been to a psychic? I have not been to a psychic, I don't think. I went to have my cards read. When you get those fairs and you have like the fortune teller with the tent, and I did that on Brighton Racecourse. In fact, that featured in another book, the one that's kind of coming out next year, which is a Sussex Mysteries, more cosy mystery. But yes, and I had my cars done, and I'm not sure. I do think there are people who can see more than we can. I haven't had anyone predict my future, unless it was very drunk friends who thought that they could read the lines on my hands, which, they haven't, because I haven't had a Sunday Times bestseller yet. And I don't have 10 dogs yet. It's all possible, isn't it? Let's see. We're in a zombie apocalypse. Why can't I say that? It's very early in the morning, still in the pajamas. Already mentioned that. What special skill would you have, and what would you like? So I would like the ability to fly without the aid of an aircraft or any kind of anything. I would love to be able to fly, because then I could escape from killer zombies. I guess you have zombie romance though, don't you? Yeah, we have that kind of thing. Probably not for me though. So flying, zombie apocalypse, I would find myself, probably come back to the red rabbit hole. I would stock up on all my favourite foods. Probably chocolate. There would be a lot of chocolate in there. Pumpkin pie, big fan of pumpkin pie, absolutely love it. Really love it. And I get that pumpkin puree off of Amazon, and then I make my own pie, and sometimes it turns out really well, and sometimes it's just utterly revolting, but the kids eat it anyway, because it's Halloween. You do. Any more on the apocalypse? Do you have a plan for the apocalypse? Apart from lots of food, I think we covered that already. I would have a lot of food. I would make sure I have all my pets with me. I have ducks and cats and dogs. Probably have my children, husband, keep them safe, but lots of food, and then I think that I would be sorted, definitely. Next one, what Halloween traditions do you have in your house? So I do like to go a bit all out for Halloween, and I do decorate pretty much everything in the same way that I would do Christmas, which I know is a little bit weird, but I think it's becoming more of a thing now. I've seen on TikTok. So I've got these little stuffed pumpkin, what do you call them? Plushy pumpkins. Real pumpkins. I'd always carve a couple of real pumpkins, which now always reminds me of Gillian McAllister's book, because they had a carved pumpkin on the landing. So now, I always kind of think of that one when I do my pumpkin carving, and put the little tea light in, and hope that nothing as dramatic happens to me on Halloween as happened to the character in her book. What else do we do for Halloween? The little boo baskets now. I think that's a great idea. We have a string of paper ghosts that has lasted since my kids are teenagers now. One of them's already left home. But we have a string of paper ghosts the kids made when they were younger, and it's still going, which amazes me, and that gets strung up in the kitchen. We have got some of those kind of china, I think you're supposed to put sweets in them. They're like china pumpkins. And they are really cool, really absolutely love them. I put them all over the house. I love candles. Oh my god, this time of year, candles, light your candles, cozy blankets. It's really overdone now on TikTok. I've been doing this for years, and suddenly it's a thing to be ultra cozy. I've been ultra cozy every year for, probably since I was born. But everything has to be all nice and smelling of pumpkin, pumpkin spice syrup in things. So I went to LA a couple of years ago, and I got addicted to matcha lattes, which is just my thing. You have to put maple syrup in, but I make them at home because they're ridiculously expensive, and the same thing with basically anything from Starbucks is ridiculously expensive. So I just buy my own syrup. So this year we're doing pumpkin spice syrup, hazelnut syrup, and we're putting that in hot chocolate, or we're making kind of a weak latte, me and the kids, which is all good. So Halloween is a great time of year, and I think we're nearly out of time. And also, I don't know where the dog's gone. I actually can't see the dog. I have to pick up my lantern, my little lantern, isn't it cute? And try and find the dog. So that's all we have time for today. I hope you've enjoyed my ramblings. I'd like to thank you for being here with me near this dark little hole. Very spooky. I remind you to follow Red Rabbit on social media. Do subscribe, as it costs nothing and it makes a big difference to the podcast. It encourages your usual hosts, MV Peacock and Lisa Shepherd, to continue with their fabulous ramblings on here. You can find the links in the show notes. Please do take a look at my books, and happy Halloween.